While the SSCA Ad Pro 360 Cup Series is off, the SSCA Truck Series has decided to have a little fun this week on the famed Big E Eldora Speedway for the 2018 Down and Dirty Spectacular, brought to you by Dirty Air Studios. And you'll see it all live here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Good evening, race fans, and I'm Tanner Sharp, and alongside me here in the booth is Mr. Sean Ambrose. Behind the scenes is our director, Joe Peak, and he's using camera sets provided by Dougie Beard. Sean, Eldora is one of the most famous dirt tracks in the country. What makes this track so special and so loved by many?
Yes, Tanner, you would ask me that, and, well, I do have a little bit to tell you about Eldora. You know, it's a half-mile dirt racing facility located in western Ohio. Now, the Big E is owned, of course, by three-time NASCAR Cup champion Tony Stewart. Another big guy. The Indiana native purchased Eldora from the legendary promoter Earl Baltus back in 2004. And, you know, Baltus built Eldora in 1954 and was the sole owner of that facility from the day it opened. A lot of history here in western Ohio. Eldora plays host to some of the largest dirt racing events in the country, including the Dirt Late Model Dream, Kings Royal, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and the World 100, all of which attract over 20,000 spectators on an annual basis. This half-mile clay surface, 24 degrees of banking on this oval. The straight's got about 8 degrees of banking, and if the wheel is straight, you're not going fast here. But the best way to get an idea what this place is really like is to jump on board the GSRC Chevrolet Silverado and take a couple laps around the Big E.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Brian Yazik, taking you for a spin around the Eldora Speedway and the GSRC Chevrolet Silverado. So without further ado, here we go. Dirt is out, dirt is here, and it is sweeping the iRacing community. That's for sure. Driving these big old trucks around and slinging the mud and getting these things sideways is all sorts of fun. There's really not going to be a clear guide here, because what's going to happen is the track is going to change so much in the race. So where I'm going right here in turn one, towards the end of the race, you're probably going to see a lot of trucks up there because the groove is going to move up there. With dirt, you're constantly chasing where the grip is at. Here in turns 3 and 4, you see, kind of ride it right up there next to the fence, trying to come down just a little bit and get a straight shot off of that corner. You're never fully into the throttle all the way. At best, you're probably 85% with dirt. So there you go, sweeping it through turn 2 there, down this very short backstretch. This is only a half-mile track, so this is a very unique experience for these trucks. Braking is completely different on dirt as well, because in traditional oval, you're using the brake to slow the truck down. In dirt, you're using it to help it turn. So it takes a whole different mindset to get around a dirt track in these big trucks. So here we go, back through 3 and 4. One more time, getting it right up next to the fence, kicking it sideways, bringing it down, and across the line. And that is going to complete our track guide here around the Eldora Speedway in the GSRC Silverado. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
Brian Yazik making it look easy how to get around Eldora Speedway in a NASCAR Camping World truck. But I tell you what, before we get to all the drivers and the event details, let's go ahead and give our sponsor a shout out. Dirty Air Studios. Dirty Air Studios is a sim racing video promotion company. They are here to bring you the best in online sim racing creative. Everything from videos, logos, car liveries, and more. Find them on Facebook at Dirty Air Studios. Now let's get a breakdown into the event details for tonight's excitement of the event we're having here at Eldora. The special event here is obviously for fun, but we also have a couple of heat races. There will be a qualification before the heat races. That's a 5-minute lone qualifier for 4 laps. Heat races is me breaking down into 4 heat races, 8 laps each individual heat race. Top 4 in each individual heat race will advance. There will be no cautions in those heat races. Once we get into the C and B mains that will follow after the heat races, those 2 races will have 15 laps, 8 of them will transfer, and the cautions will be turned on. And then finally, we get to our main event, which is the big money, the 100-lap feature. The top 8 will be inverted. They will have stage racing, 25 laps, another 25 laps, and 50 laps for 100 laps. Cautions are turned on, and the race winner in the main event is going to receive $25 to win, $15 goes to second place, and $10 goes to the third place driver. And I tell you what, Sean, you know, Eldora Speedway, I can never get a grip around this truck, but you and I were talking earlier. You said you turned some laps here at Eldora. How much does this track really change, especially when you have those heat races before that main event?
Well, expect the starting state of this track to be about 65% once we actually get to the main 100-lap race. I can tell you from my testing this afternoon, did about 70, a little over 70 laps, and it changes every 10 laps, every 15 laps. You're constantly looking for the fast groove around this track because it is ever changing. And I think we were talking about the pre-race. One of the big problems I think these drivers are going to have on the start of the main is that there's just not going to be a lot of grip left in this track. You know, sometimes when the track's had a little bit of maintenance, a little bit of manicuring done in between those heat races and those consies, they do a little bit of work on the track, get a little watered down, and I don't think that's going to be there for these drivers. That is going to really get them fanned out quickly. A pretty good sized field. I'm seeing 18 drivers, and this is a very wide track, Tanner. And again, we talk about how that groove moves here. Look for a lot of these guys to try and start up top. Hug that wall as they come around and literally maybe drag the tailgate along the wall there through the turns. So it should be a lot of fun. But yes, this track state's going to be an ever-changing sea this evening.
It most certainly is, and it's really going to shake up the ground game from the very first heat race all the way to the main event. And I'm already seeing some drivers posting about 18.7 seconds in lap times. We got about less than 4 minutes left in the practice session. And I tell you what, it just sounds like, from listening to you, Sean, it sounds like as a driver it gets frustrating because, you know, you're trying to regain control of your truck, find that traction, trying to find that good line, and it keeps constantly changing on you. So it just sounds like a lot of frustration sometimes can build up in a driver.
Listen, I'll tell you what else it is. It is a workout, baby. My forearms, it depends on how much force feedback you use in your wheel. I use a moderate amount of force feedback in my wheel. I have a G27, and my forearms are still stinging just a little bit. And this was 2.5, maybe 3 hours ago that I finished up practicing. So, yeah, this is going to be a workout for these guys this evening.
And I'm glad I'm not driving because I plan on going to Planet Fitness later tonight. If I have to drive, there will probably be no way I'm going to Planet Fitness because, yeah, I seen these guys. I actually rode along with a couple of drivers here. They're really wheeling it and dealing it here at Eldora, man. This is really no joke. A lot more talented than what I am up here. But tell you what, I mean, we got about 2 minutes left here. Does the track state actually carry over to the heats?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, it will. Yes, track state's carrying over to the heat. So, again, this is, you know, it's let's see. They start out with 20%. Right now it's at 50%, and it's all carried over from qualifying. So, yeah, it's going to be a long evening here at Eldora. Now, actually, they ran their official race for points last night. This is a special event. Come one, come all. Bring the fastest truck you got and see who can win this thing. So they're going to just get out of here and have a little fun this evening, not necessarily worry about the points, but that $50 being at stake, that purse, that is certainly a nice big carrot to dangle out here for these 18 drivers that have shown up to drive this evening.
If you were in this race, Sean, tonight, would you be more serious when it comes to the heat racing, or would you be more serious when it comes to the 100-lap payout big money?
I'd be a lot more serious about those 100 laps. I'd have a pretty good strategy under my belt about how I was going to approach that, those first couple of stages, and then running that truck out for 50 laps there at the end, man. Yeah, it's all about consistency and being up on that wheel. Elbows up, as the Herminator likes to say. Elbows up, baby. Get them elbows up.
better get the mellows up right now because the practice has now concluded, and we're going to carry over to qualification. And just by listening to you, Sean, and your knowledge on the Eldora Speedway and your practice that you took part in earlier today, track position is going to be key, and you want to be one of those top 4 drivers that's going to advance in either the C and the B main here tonight before we get to that 100-lap feature. So qualification is now up and running. Ryan Hill was the fastest driver in the practice session, so I kind of would assume he knows how to get around this joint. He was actually 0.2 quicker than Gabriel Wood compared to an 18.5 compared to an 18.7. It's a fixed setup here tonight, so a lot of drivers are actually running 18.7s at the moment.
Boy, and I thought I was doing something with a 19.4. No, these guys are the pros, certainly not me, but man, I just can't wait to see him get cranked up. We've got Ryan Hill there on screen trying to get a couple laps in here real quick. It's 4 laps, 5-minute qualifying session.
Most definitely is for sure. And I tell you what, Sean, this setting right now, I feel like I'm at my local dirt track because I am all pumped up, ready to go. We have on screen Mr. Ryan Hill, the Halo 5 Chevrolet Silverado. Now we got Josh Bonwell. Hits the top of the charts.
Look at that cushion up there against the walls. Look how that's built up. I talked about the 50% where we're at right now. A lot of cushion up on that wall. You can barely see the Eldora. And, you know, we talked about 24 degrees of banking. Well, you ride up there on the cushion, you're dealing with a little bit more banking, obviously, with all that less compact dirt sitting up there in that cushion.
Yeah, absolutely. And to me, it just by watching it, here, as just seeing Eric Stanford utilize that higher line, I tell you what, it looks like a mini dirt track Darlington, if that makes any sense to you, Sean, because you're up right by that wall, and if you get really close to it, man, you're really going to get that truck out of whack and really leave a stripe on that wall. Here's Dylan Jones, currently in 3rd on qualification speed charts.
Yeah, but the top right now, Stanford with only a couple laps, and he's the only one to go 18 so far. 18.9. William Davis goes up to the 3rd spot there with a 19.1.
And they're running a little slower lap times, but that's probably because of the track state from what they ran in practice, so that's actually to be expected. There's William Davis. Oh, now spinning it out. All right.
He's on Trey Galgan here. Galgan already sitting there in 2nd, trying to get down to the 18. He's got a couple laps left to do it.
Oh, boy.
Nate goes 19 flat again.
Yeah, I mean, Stanford's on top of the charts with an 18.9 at the moment, so only a 10th off of Stanford's time.
Let's see what Galgan can do here.
Yeah.
Looks like a fast lap. Boy, he gets a nice run there off turn 4. Oh, and he that was a 19.1, so it wasn't even his best lap. Man, they shut her down.
I just wonder how many drivers really run the telemetry on a qualifying lap to see where they're picking it up. I sometimes do that for sure.
Washington driving the brown truck this evening. He spins her out there on his 3rd lap. There's Robert McFarland. He's still that's his 1st lap there at 20.3. That's in 15th right now.
Yeah, McFarland, he's trying to improve that lap time because if he doesn't, he'll be in the back of the pack.
Gabe Wood out here cutting. Gabe Wood out here cutting a good lap right now. He's on his 3rd lap. Oh, just off the wall. He loses his momentum down low there, unfortunately. He did get up to 6th, though. Climbs the board a little bit there. Washington's still coming around, and he stalls it out on his attempt at a 4th lap there. That's going to be good enough for 11th. McFarland back out, trying to get another one in here.
Yes, he is. He's trying to improve that lap time, but if he can't improve that lap time, I guess if there's still practice time, might as well utilize it as a little practice. Sometimes I like to do that. Hopefully he can improve that lap time because his best lap time's a 20.1. Oh, that's...
it didn't end well for that
no,
Toyota.
It didn't. That was coming across the start-finish line.
All right, so we've only got about 20 seconds here left in the qualifying session, and then we'll kick off with this first heat. 8 laps.
Yeah, Sean, I'm excited for this first heat race, and I tell you what, do you think you could probably learn something out of that first heat race? Let's just say you finish in the top 4. You could probably take some notes after that race to transfer it over to one of the mains.
Oh, absolutely. But because of the fact that this track continues to go away with every heat session, those notes are probably going to need a little bit of an adjustment. So here we go as we get ready to grid up here for heat number 1. Let's go to the grid.
Yes, sir. Let's go to the grid. On top of the chart for heat number 1, Eric Stanford will start in first. Danny Rogers will start in second. Gary Sexton's going to start in third. Dylan Jones will start in fourth here tonight. Josh Bonwell in fifth place. David Washington will start sixth. Sean Callis will start in seventh. Robert McFarland in eighth. Michael D'Amico will start in ninth. And rounding in 10th place for the first heat race, Taylor Burris.
Not sure where to pick that up because that's not the starting grid I had there.
Oh, that wasn't?
No.
All
right, let's go with the back of the field here. David Washington in 11th, Mark McFadden in 12th, Sean Callis will start 13th, William Locklear in 14th, Robert McFarland will start 15th, Michael D'Amico in 17th, William E. Moore is starting 18th, and Taylor Burris is not driving in this race, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just accidentally clicked on the first thing on the iRacing. I must have got the else messed up.
And I let you keep swinging there, buddy. I'm sorry.
That's all right. But I tell you what, this heat race is going to be a lot of note taking right here, and it's only 8 laps, so it's very, very short, unlike a track could change over a 25-lap run, like you were saying, Sean, earlier. So I just wonder, do you think the track is going to change a lot during 8 laps or not so much?
Honestly, I think once you pace around here, throw in those very fast 8 laps with no cautions, I think it will change some. Yes, it's a fixed setup, so it's really not. It's not good. There's nothing you can do to the truck to make an adjustment. So you're really just going to have to be able to adapt to the track and its conditions as it continues to progress over the night.
All right, yeah, for sure. Just waiting for the pace truck to get out on the racetrack here for the first heat race of the evening. I do believe they're going to take 2 pace laps around this joint before we let these guys fly. And I'm not talking about the trucks flying. I'm talking about the dirt flying, because in real life, you'd have all that dirt getting up on you. As a race fan, you love it. But nonetheless, I'm kind of expecting the first heat race to have a little bit of a follow the leader kind of point and try to, maybe some drivers that could try to make some passes on each other, but single file race on the high side, that's probably where the most grip is going to be at, especially when you get a run on the corner exit of the track here, because your entrance is going to be so much different than your exits. It's crazy. All right, coming off turn number 2, and we're going to be letting these babies fly, man, for the Dirt Studios Down and Dirty 2018 truck race. Dirty Air Studios. It's a fun night, no points, just trying to get yourself into the main. Pace truck is in, and let's unleash the beasts. We're racing at Eldora. Down in turn 1 for the very first time. Some drivers already multi-groove racing. The number 5 right there is in trouble. That would have been Danny Rogers. Looked like he was in trouble.
Yeah, there goes Gary Sexton down on the bottom, trying to find some of that grip up front.
Oh! Next to all the 5s going around. No cautions though.
Danny is around. Remember, the cautions are off. Sexton trying to find that grip down low that I was talking about.
Holy macaroni, man. I tell you what, these trucks are a little bit all over the place. A lot of groove racing here. Eric Stanford still leading the high line around. Second place, Dylan Jones. Third place, Gary Sexton. What a bold move on the inside row to try to go for the race lead on the very first lap of the race.
Washington back there in fourth, trying to pick up some ground now. And just behind him, Sean Callis getting a little bit of run. Try and maybe cross him over down low. No, Callis stays in behind him. Washington is starting to throw that truck in there. Ride that rear end right up on the cushion. Washington starting to close on Sexton. Sexton struggling a little bit there.
He can get to him. It's just a matter on trying to pass him and changing up that line. Where you could probably maybe dive bomb, but I don't know if it's going to work out too well, as Dylan Jones kind of closing in on the race leader just little by little. Looks like he's getting a better run on corner exit than Stanford's getting.
Josh Bonwell got by Calloused, and then Bonwell trouble.
Oh man, I tell you what, you could probably fold a blanket over the top 4 drivers, because here they're all over each other. Actually, I take that back. Washington actually kind of lost a little momentum to Sexton. Jones is still keeping the target on the race leader of Stanford, getting really close to that back bumper as they head down to turn 1 again. Got 2 laps to go, so now it's just a matter on what are you going to do.
Yeah, Washington falling back out of this battle now. Looking to take that final and 4th spot. Our leader is going to have to worry about some traffic here. Only a lap to go, though. The white flag is out.
They might catch him before they get to the start-finish line. But I tell you what, they might not try anything. The top 4 drivers know they're already in the top 4. It looks like Washington's kind of backed off just a little bit. Coming off of turn number 4, Stanford versus Jones. It's going to be Stanford taking the checkered flag in the first heat race. That was very quick, but very. I love that opening. How drivers searched around right away at a snap of a finger. That was awesome to watch. Go to the race results. Eric Stanford taking the checkered flag in the very first heat race. Dylan Jones is going to finish in 2nd spot. 3rd place, Gabriel Wood. Excuse me, Gabriel Wood. Gary Sexton in 3rd place. Dylan Jones got 4th. Bonwell 5th. Or 6th.
Yes.
So we move on to the second heat race of the evening here tonight. This is going to be very interesting, too, because the track I just seen in the first heat race there, Sean, it's changed drastically. I'm surprised, because on getting in on entrance, that's changed so much. And they're still riding at higher lines. So I just wonder if that high line is going to go away and might open up a bottom.
We apologize for the results there. A little bit of a gremlin there in the
I had a gremlin
for there, but that's all right. We're all going to get restarted here for heat number 2.
Yes, sir.
Heat number 2. Your grid here is going to be Trey Galgan on the pole. William Davis starts 2nd. Gabriel Wood 3rd. Ryan Hill 4th. Judd Danielson in 5th. 6th going to go to Mark McFadden. 7th, William Locklear. 8th going to go to Richard Regan Jr. And 9th to William Moore.
Pace truck should be entering pit road this time by to unleash the beasts once again. So let's see what's the difference between the second heat race and the first heat race. They going to do multi-groove racing, or are they going to try to get single file right away? This is going to be a very interesting deal. Pace truck is down pit road, and here we go. We're back racing. Trey Galgan on the loud pedal. Ooh, almost contact right on the start of the race. That got a little hairy.
Oh, Galgan gets up in front of Ryan Hill. Woohoo! And William Davis buries it in the wall coming to the turn. Now Galgan's got his feet back under him here. He's starting to run.
Oh, man, they're all of them are almost in the wall. Oh, there's a wreck in the back.
Yeah, that was Judd Danielson, the 17, the Dirty Air Studios Silverado. Trouble for him.
Oh, we got a battle for the race lead.
Galgan.
Davis got him to the line, but they're still battling. Oh, we got a car in the wall. Oh, they're making contact. Door to door, beating and banging. And oh, man, he's still hanging on for the race lead.
Galgan was going to try and cross him over, but Davis kept the momentum there up top, was having none of it. They went door to door. Davis pulled away.
Man, Trey Galgan really tried, man. He really tried to go for that race lead. He's in the wall once again, but he's still hanging on tough, trying to hunt down the number 11 machine of Davis. Followed closely behind Gabriel Wood. He's watching all this action, but he can't do anything with it at the moment. Oh, there goes Galgan. He's trying to get another run on him again because he knows he can get him. I think, oh man.
Ryan Hill trying to hang on to that 4th spot back there. Riding her right up on the cushion, right up near that wall. Here goes Galgan up front, though. He's trying to make another run at William Davis.
On the bottom side, trying to make it work. Side by side to the start-finish line. Sideways into the corner, trying to get the best run off and corner exit as possible. And look at that, Galgan takes the lead. But I don't think the number 11, William Davis, is going to be denied, because here comes 3rd place, Gabriel Wood, trying to make something happening.
Gabe got her down there trying to find a grip down low. He makes contact with Davis.
Almost sending him
down there at the bottom.
Yeah, almost sending him to the inside wall, and looks like Gabriel Wood lost a little momentum because of that contact, as well as Davis losing momentum to Galgan. Galgan's got a little breathing room as they come to the white flag. White flag for Trey Galgan entering turn number 1. Looks like there is no pressure. He could probably take it easy from here. But the main battle could be for 2nd spot between William Davis and Gabriel Wood. They are actually side by side. In turns 3 and 4 comes the race leader,
Wood's
Trey
got
Galgan. He's got the grip, but Trey Galgan's going to come across the start-finish line and win the heat race number 2. Gabriel Wood gets 2nd with the last lap pass, and William Davis finishes 3rd. That was a will of a heat race.
Yeah, Ryan Hill going to close it out there in 4th. William Moore 5th, 6th for William Locklear. Judd Danielson going to come across in 7th, and Mark McFadden going to finish 8th there.
Man, I'm so going to like the lineup, man. You're going to have Stanford and Joan Sexton and watching from that first heat race. How about that second heat race, man? The way the top 3 drivers, Galgan, Wood, and Davis, raced. Man, it's going to be fun to watch, man. And just think, that was only the second heat race.
Now they're only going to be the two heat races. So we just finished the second heat. Again, remember the field only 17 drivers tonight, so we got the couple of heat races here, and now we'll get ready to start. As the guys get lined up, get ready here.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a warm up,
yes.
Before I think this is a C main, if I'm not mistaken. Nope. This is actually this is going to be entering the main event right here.
Right, correct. Because of the size of the field here. Now they will still invert the top 8 here when we get ready to go to the feature. But now look at this 5-minute session in here.
Remember when I asked you?
Tear down the track a little bit more.
Yeah, they are. But remember when I asked you, Sean, earlier on how whether you want to be aggressive in the heat race or the 100 lapper? Well, now you see how drivers were aggressive in that second heat race. I mean, how aggressive can you be in the first heat race even though you got 100 laps?
Well, not very. I mean, now they okay. So Gary Sexton, the Grand Poobah of the SSCA, told me earlier they did throw in one fast repair. So you're only going to get one shot at it. If you bang your truck up, and listen, you can afford a little bit of damage on this Silverado and this Tundra. They'll take a little bit of a beating. But, man, you start to get into suspension damage, start nosediving down into those inside walls, you're going to really have problems. And like I said, you're only going to get one spare car to work with. It's 100 laps. You're not going to win this thing in the first 2 stages. Your winner is going to come from the 3rd stage, obviously. Who is going to have the truck to get around here for 15 laps consistently and really find that line every time? We're already seeing trucks having trouble as the grip is quickly going away here in this practice session. I'm telling you, probably by the end of that 2nd stage, it will be the trickiest 50 laps we've seen all night, because there'll be just absolutely nothing left in this track. It'll be just glaze. That's what it looks like out of the windshield. You just see this glaze on the horizon as you're coming to it. It's like immediately in your mind you're thinking, well, there's no way I'm going to find any grip in that. And you're absolutely right. You're just not. You can see it. You can see that here on the camera. And, you know, whenever we go to some kind of an in-car view, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, there's Wood.
Gabriel Wood right here.
You'll see as it comes down to the turn, he hits that really dark patch of the track. It just looks like glass. He obviously, there's still room down low, but boy, it's gone away up top really bad. Gabe doing a good job of keeping that nose buried there down towards the lower groove.
Most certainly is, and you know that track's gonna change so much. I just can't imagine just driving. It's gonna be like ice skates out there. I've already seen a couple drivers already, you know, losing it realistically, especially in that first heat race. But that second heat race got really wild. But I see more cars packed in together in that second heat race than that first heat race for sure. But this is only a 5-minute warm up here, so not a lot of practice for these drivers to get around the track. I mean, putting a little wear on the track, yes, but. This is for the big money now, man. $25 is going to go for the race winner here tonight. 15 is going to go to the second place driver, and $10 is going to go to the third place driver. So, yeah, I completely agree, Sean. You know, you got to take it easy in the early going. We got stages here, the first 25 laps, and they got another 25 laps. I'd say if you're starting in the back of the pack, take it easy. I mean, you got realistically 50 laps to really take it easy, and then make something happen in the final 50 laps.
Well, you know, the bottom line is there's nothing at stake for winning these stages tonight. This is, again, a special event, fun race. It's great to have the stages. That's the way they do it in the real world. But again, there's nothing at stake. So if you want to try and save the truck, take her a little bit easy here off the start. Just get into a rhythm. I really think that's the way to play it tonight. Get being a little bit too aggressive and you make a mistake. And listen, you don't want to make a mistake in this truck. A lot of power, Tanner, under the wheels of this truck. It does not take much to loop it around and get it into one of these walls or, God forbid, into one of your competitors.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could probably go out there with the truck and just spin it out before I even take my warm-up lap. I mean, good Lord, these things are just I thought the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup cars were a handful on the big super speedways. Now we got to go to the grid here, so let's line them up. Starting on the pole here tonight is going to be Eric Stanford for the main event. Trey Galgan's going to start in second. Danny Rogers will start in third. William Davis start fourth. Gary Sexton, I'm going to pick him for tonight. I think he's got what it takes. He's going to start in fifth. Gabriel Wood in sixth. Dylan Jones in seventh. Ryan Hill will start in eighth. Ninth place, Josh Bonwell. And rounding out the top 10 is Mr. Judd Danielson.
All right, and there, row 6, David Washington, Mark McFadden in 12th. Sean Callis will start 13th. William Locklear 14th. Robert McFarland 15th. And Michael D'Amico 17th. William Moore will start 18th. Again, Tyler Burris not running. Who was that? There's one driver that's not back. Oh, Danny Rogers not starting in this race. He went ahead and put his car behind the wall for the rest of the evening.
One thing to make note, as Chiefs truck is leaving pit road to bring the trucks out for 2 pace laps here at Eldora. One thing to make note, that cautions will be turned on for this main event here tonight, unlike the first 2 heat races. So if a truck does spin around, it's probably going to be a caution flag. So I want to keep that in mind. So usually track position is going to be the key thing here at Eldora. More trucks on the track, more craziness.
The traditional Eldora start here with the fireworks, the flames, the pomp and circumstance that surrounds a race here at the E. And boy, this is going to be a fun one tonight. Dylan Jones, Sean Callis going to get to lead them off from the front of the field.
Most definitely. Eldora's, you know, come to think of it now, Eldora's I got to put that on my bucket list. A track to go see, Eldora, just to see that atmosphere, because right now the truck is going to head down into pit road, and we are going to unleash the beast for the main event. 100 laps of slobber knocker racing. Here we go. Green flag. We're racing at Eldora in the main event. Down in turn number 1 for the first time. Oh, contact already. Number 11, William Davis. He making contact right off the bat.
Oh, several trucks squirrely back there, a couple of rows back.
Oh, man, we're already 3 wide mid-pack back there. Who's that?
Well, it was Gabe Wood trying to make it 3 wide back there. He's advancing up there up top. William Davis down on the bottom of the 11. Keeping that low line, trying to find the grip. Watch out, Davis is on the move. Down on the inside now, Gabe Wood.
Yes, he is. Davis, man, he's not taking no prisoners here, man. He wants to try to get up to. Oh, number 11 is spinning around. Davis, caution. We got T-boned there by the number 56.
Yeah, Josh Bonwell was in a spin. I didn't quite T-bone him, but just a little bit of damage. We've got this on the replay. See where it all started.
What that looked like a T-bone.
But himself.
Yeah,
that truck's just going to go around on him right there. A little bit too much into the wheel. Here we go. Oh, and maybe
he had a little
help there from William Moore. Just in the wrong spot at the wrong time there, but that's all right. Everybody going to get a chance to get restarted here. I don't think anybody's got any major damage out of that. I think we're all going to survive. A little bit of right front damage is going to happen on Davis's car. Moore's going to have a little bit there on the front end. Moore just didn't have anywhere to go. That really certainly wasn't his fault for getting into him there.
No, usually when you commit to a line on entrance, you really have to commit to it. And if something happens in front of you, you're just stuck. You're just the innocent bystander there. So we see our first caution in the first 5 laps of here tonight at Eldora, and I tell you what, this actually gives me a little bit of a break to catch my breath because the racing is just so intense right off the bat. But I guess that's the treat the race fans get when you get dirt track racing, especially on a simulator. So Ryan Hill is currently your race leader. I do believe we have the 1-to-go signal, so we'll take the green flag next time around. Ryan Hill is your race leader. David Washington in second place.
Yep,
third.
The lights are out on that pace truck. A little bit of finger pointing going on down there in that race chat. Some of these drivers not happy with each other here early. Let's make sure we don't have a ticking time bomb on our hands to get ready to set them loose here again.
Man, I'll tell you what, you're already frustrated and it's only 5 laps. You got a long night. Here we go. Pace truck is in. Ryan Hill once again in the number 55 truck on the loud pedal. And we're back racing.
Boy, it's David Washington, though, with a big start down on the bottom, trying to find the grip down there. I don't think it's there. In fact, they're going to steamroll him up top. Washington gets into the 23 of William Moore. Oh, Washington now getting in.
Somebody got pinched into the wall.
Yeah, Washington pitches Jones up into the wall there. Washington still having a little bit of trouble there as he hits William Moore again.
Man, these drivers are just trying to recover here. Oh, we got a battle for second place, though. Gabriel Wood trying to get underneath Sexton. Successful pass. Sexton's going to go for a crossover.
They're going to give it a run. Sexton going to try and clear him.
Oh, almost contact. Now we got the 23 William Moore trying to get into this mix.
Oh, man. And Gabe Wood knocks the wall down with the right side of that Shelton Silverado. Back under Sexton.
And the cat out front says see ya to all this action that is going on from second on back. Sexton, man, what a good recovery, man. He lost second and then regained second. William Moore's having a good night after that damage under the first caution. Look at Dylan Jones almost making contact with the number 98 of David Washington.
Gabriel Woods put some serious damage on the right front of that truck. I'm afraid he's going to have trouble. Boy, they're battling hard here. Mid-pack, Stanford getting around Dylan Jones. David Washington still trying to get that truck under him. But Stanford and Jones having a hell of a battle right here.
Yeah, Stanford and Jones, man. Dylan Jones, you got to remember, he was in the wall earlier, and he's still trying to trying to keep his race intact. Stanford right ahead of him is David Washington. So really, the action for all these drivers is Washington on back. That's 5th place on back. And right on the bottom side comes the number 49 of Trey Galligan trying to get underneath Dylan Jones for position. Cannot get the run off that he needs. Oh, there comes the number 24. He pops out of line just a little bit. That's Stanford.
Trucks starting to really move up the groove towards the cushion. They're losing that grip here really, really quick.
Everybody really jumped to the high line, too, once they discover that. I still see Stanford trying to get underneath of Washington.
Sexton has seemed to have gotten into a comfortable groove as he's starting to pull away there in second. William Moore really struggling with the truck right now. Gabriel Wood struggling a bit himself, and he is having a real adventure. It's a bit ponderous for him out there on the track right now, trying to wheel that Silverado around here.
Biggest battle is really in the back of the pack here. Dylan Jones almost lost it in the middle of the corner of 1 and 2. And right now, number 49, Trey Galgan, actually took advantage of that. Just ahead of him is Stanford and Washington. They're all nose to tail here.
And Ryan Hill, our leader, catching the back of the field. Now he's going to be here on Robert McFarland here real quick.
Ryan Hill.
Go ahead, Tanner.
Yeah, Ryan Hill has pulled out into a 2-second lead. Robert McFarland not having the night he wants here tonight because he's about to be lapped, and so he will by Ryan Hill. Just kind of lets him go. No fight over a position to try to stay in the lead lap.
Man, Ryan Hill's got this thing figured out. Just watch him get around the track here. He's got no damage. I don't want to jinx him. He's got no damage on the right side of that truck. Look where he's riding all the way around this track. Right there up on the cushion, man. He is high, wide, and handsome and just loving it up there right now, Tanner.
He most certainly is, and there's no pressure from behind whatsoever, so he can really just run his race right now because we're going to be coming to our caution flag on lap 25 here to end the first stage. And then Ryan's going to have to play a little defense at the start of stage number 2, but right now he's running nice and pretty.
Tell you what, okay, back to Jones and Galgan going at it here.
Man, these two cats have been fighting for quite a while now.
Yeah, Jones finds himself right now sitting behind this battle of Washington and Stanford. He could try and take advantage of it down low.
Oh, man, the double zero.
Will be 3 wide.
Oh!
It's 3 wide going through turns 3 and 4. Who's going to get out of there first? David Washington putting the power down.
Oh, man, Jones made pretty good contact with McFarland there. He gets by him, though. Washington. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, did you see Washington just power through all of that, man?
Yeah, he wants to just escape those guys behind him because they've been just following him, still keeping tabs with him. And then when they do finally catch him, it's a side-by-side to where Washington's got to play a little defense to protect his position. And I tell you, this has been battling on for quite a few laps. This is 5th on back. You got Washington, Stanford. Oh, Moore and Sexton are going at it.
Yeah, and I knew they would here. Close the stage. Boy, it's William Moore finally getting down there right over the slides, right up front, puts a slide job on Sexton.
Oh, man, that could have been a good bumper-to-bumper action right there, man. That almost reminded me of Dale Earnhardt and Terry Labonte going at it. But I tell you what, William Moore looked like he was struggling, but he has caught Sexton, and he has passed him for 2nd place. Now it's just a matter of hunting down Hill, but I think we're running out of laps because Ryan Hill is on the white flag lap of stage number 1 as he enters turn number 3. And stage 1's going to go to Ryan Hill. But what a good pass by William Moore, though. Caution is out for stage 1.
I tell you what, William Moore really had to put the work in there to get that move done on Gary Sexton. He had been working on that for probably about the whole second half of that first stage, man. That was impressive. A good bit of driving back a little deeper in the field. David Washington making that move with a few laps to go to get himself up to 5th to finish the stage. And, boy, I'll tell you what, that was a little bit of fun there.
That was a lot of fun indeed. And you know something? I got to tip my hat to William Moore because when he fell back and looked like he was struggling, Sean, he actually made that time back up and passed Sexton just before the end of stage number 1. So that's got to give him a good confidence booster for William Moore for sure. So this actually ends the first stage. We're going to be entering our second stage here. I don't think you can do pit stops in these trucks, can you?
Oh, yeah. No, you can pit. Honestly, the only reason you're pitting, I think, is if you got a fair amount of damage on the truck and you're just having trouble with suspension issues. But the lights are out on the pace truck. We are ready to go live here on the Global Sim Racing channel.
Absolutely. So let's reset the field here for stage number 2. Ryan Hill is going to be your race leader. Ethan Moore in 2nd. Gary Sexton in 3rd. Gabriel Wood in 4th. And rounding out the top 5 for the start of stage number 2, David Washington. Pace truck's going to be taking a hard left down pit road once again. And time to unleash the beast for race number 2, stage number 2. Ooh, a lot of beating and banging right off the bat, man. I tell you what, Ethan Moore trying to secure his second place spot, and he so far does, but he's got Sexton on the bottom side of the racetrack trying to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you know, Sexton's starting these races like a real dirt racer likes to. Down there on the bottom where the most grip is. Yeah, again, I worried about how much would be left. It seems to have worked out with Sexton so far. Moore, Hill, both get off to a great start, but they are battling back here in the middle of the pack.
Oh, man, what a run off turn number 2 for Gabriel Wood to escape David Washington. Now David Washington's got a rearview mirror full of the number 24 of Eric Stanford, and on back it's just kind of a mess because the number 49, Trey Galligan, is a little in trouble and struggling on the bottom side of the racetrack. Practically the only truck on the bottom with the exception of Sean Callis. Man, these trucks are just really trying to wheel and deal here. Oh, look at Gabriel Wood and Sexton going at it. That would be a battle for third. And I think Ethan Moore has caught the race leader's
watch
back
out,
bumper.
watch out.
Oh, no!
Yeah, Wood is around.
Oh, man, good.
Oh, and they pile up hard behind him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Wood started sliding up the track, losing the grip under him there. And he is going to get tagged. Not much anybody could do there.
Oh, man, Sexton couldn't really do much because that back end of the number 8, Gabriel Wood, just yanked right around.
Yeah, he definitely tail whipped him. Boom. Tail comes around. I mean, he was already going around, and boy, then you see the hard contact there by Sean Callis, by Eric Stanford in the 24.
We got a lot of trucks smoking, Sean. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, you got some pit stops going on now, buddy.
Yeah, Gabriel Wood, Sean Callis, the number 4 of William Locklear are all smoking.
Now here, this is the problem. We still got a lot of laps to go in this stage. Okay, so you got to get out of this stage alive and not beat that truck up much more because you're using your fast repair now. So you're going to have to watch yourself here if you're Gabe Wood or Sean Callis, William Locklear, Eric Stanford.
Tell you what, before that caution came out, Moore was gunning down Ryan Hill for sure. He was all over the back bumper, but just could not make anything happen. Then the caution came out.
All right, the lights are out. We still have several trucks in the pit, still trying to make their way out here.
I'm curious to see what Ethan Moore could do with the race leaders here. He almost got spun on at the start of stage number 2. So let's see what happens under this restart. Pace car truck lights are out. It's going to make a dart left the pit road. And we're going to unleash him once again. Coming off turn number 4, Ryan Hill should get the good restart. And he does. Let's see what Ethan Moore can do. Not a lot, because here comes Washington. On the outside row of Ethan Moore. Battle for second spot is on foot. Almost door-to-door contact. William Moore hangs on. Sexton on the bottom trying to make something happen.
Moore really trying to. Here comes Washington, and he slaps the wall. Galgan gets into him from behind. Had just nothing he could do about it.
Moore's going around.
Moore.
Oh,
Moore
man,
saves it.
The wall. Wow.
That's a great save by Moore. Sexton going to try and take advantage of it up top, but look what Trey Galgan's done here early. Galgan's got himself up to third. Galgan coming from all the way back to get himself up in third here on this restart. Making a run at David Washington now.
It wasn't that long ago, Trey Galgan was kind of in trouble because you got to remember, he was in the back of the pack before that big accident happened. And now look at him, he's already up to third place, trying to gun for more on David Washington for second. Oh no, Sexton almost lost it.
Yeah, he's struggling. Gary's struggling with the truck right now. And boy, Ethan Moore trying to get another run on him, but he's slapping it off the wall.
We'll battle for second on foot. Trey Galgan versus David Washington. Galgan on the bottom trying to make a pass. Let's see what he can do with Washington. Pretty even coming off the corner. I think Washington got the better run.
Galgan really steady through the turn there. Oh, a little bit too much there on the exit. And the caution's out.
Oh, caution.
I think McFarlane. Yeah, McFarlane had trouble. He's going to spin it by himself out of turn 2. We pick that up on the replay here real quick. It's going to be a self-spin. And he just loses those rear wheels under the truck. Again, I talked about how much torque these Camping World trucks have on this small little bull ring of a dirt track.
Yeah, absolutely. If you would have asked me before the Truck Series actually came to Eldora, I would have said no way. But I tell you what, they're making it happening, though, for sure.
Man, it takes a tremendous amount of skill to wheel this type of horsepower around this track. The 410 unlimited sprints, that they are just absolutely wicked watching those guys run flat out basically around here. It's all about throttle control. Very little braking involved here at Eldora. Listen, if you're on the brakes, you're scuffing off speed, period. You're never going to turn a fast lap here using that middle pedal. It's all in the right foot, baby. It's all in the right foot here at Eldora.
Pace truck lights are off. It's going to dart down pit road. Ryan Hill, the race leader, is going to get on the loud pedal once again. Actually, pace car light trucks are still turned on. We should have the one to go signal this time by. There we go. These drivers are fooling me here, Sean. They were getting all double filed up, and I couldn't really see the lights go off on the truck, but now they're turned off. Now we're going to unleash them again. So let's reset the field here. Ryan Hill's going to be your race leader. David Washington in second. Trey Galgan's going to be in third. Gary Sexton in fourth. And Sexton got lucky because he was struggling bad. And Ethan Moore is going to round out the top 5 on this start here. We have about 6 laps to go till we reach the end of stage number 2. Pace truck is in. Ryan Hill gets right on the loud pedal. We're back green flag racing at Eldora.
Boy, and Sexton and Washington tangle hard right off the start.
Woo, look at Sexton cut through the middle. That was awesome. Sexton going for second place on Washington. Beating and banging off the door. Not giving up. Not being denied. As he's still fighting for second place. And Ryan Hill's trying to escape the field.
And the Dirty Air Spectacular does not disappoint. Gary Sexton just driving that truck all over the place right now. Running over 4 or 5 different grooves. He's falling back, though, losing the momentum. Washington gets by. Dylan Jones up to third.
Where did he come from?
Oh, Jones has to get on the binders there as Washington was trying to catch it. He makes contact.
Man, Jones, man, I don't know where the heck he came from. Right now, he's like the Kevin Harvick of tonight. Right now, he's running smooth in third. And I tell you what, getting down and dirty here at Eldora, what a great way to call this race. Oh, somebody almost lost in the back of the pack. That would have been McFarland again, yeah.
Yeah, I think McFarland had a little bit of trouble back there. Boy, Ryan Hill already off to about a second and a half on the rest of this field. They are fighting behind him, though. It is a scramble all the way back to 6th place.
It most certainly is. You can fold over a blanket practically second on back.
Yeah, it looks
Washington
like
second. Washington second and Jones in third.
Looks like the Camping World Truck Ballet right now as they drift on through turns 3 and 4.
This is the white flag lap right now for Ryan Hill to try to complete stage number 2 of tonight. He's all alone out there. He's got a lead about a little over 2 seconds, going on 2.5 seconds there. Main battle's practically for second place, but so far nobody is trying. And stage 2 winner, again, is going to be Mr. Ryan Hill.
Sexton trying to hold off Galgan back there. He almost didn't do it. Sexton going to wind up with a 4th there. So it's Ryan Hill, David Washington, Dylan Jones, Gary Sexton, Trey Galgan, William Moore, Judd Danielson, Mark McFadden, Sean Callis, and Robert McFarland. Your top 10 there. Now we've got 10 trucks left on track. Unfortunately, Gabe Wood never made it back out. Neither did William Locklear. Eric Stanford didn't make it out either. And so that's it. We got 10 left to go here for 50 laps. Well, it won't be quite 50 when we get going again here, Tanner, but probably closer to about 46 laps to go. But you still got to make her last. The 43 of Sean Callis getting the wave around here. Going to get back on the lead lap with the rest of these drivers. That'll leave McFarland, the only truck not on the lead lap when we get restarted.
This is going to be a very interesting start to the final stage because and the 43 engine of Callis just exploded. He's done. Oh, that's very unfortunate right there. You
thinking,
get a wave around, and all of a sudden you go kaboom.
I was just thinking, I just said in the YouTube chat that this race has been a blast. I didn't mean it literally. I don't want to bring any bad juju on anybody, but man, wow, what a bummer there for Gallus.
Did you? Did you type that? And all of a sudden he went kaboom.
I literally was typing that, and you're acknowledging the fact that you just blew a motor. Ay, ay, ay.
That's very unfortunate for Sean.
That is
Gallus.
And tragic, yes.
Yes, absolutely. But I do believe we have the 1 to go signal this time by. Pace truck lights, I do believe, are turned off.
I'm getting hungry. Just outside of turn 3, there's a little place called the Bagel Nook. I could use a bagel. I don't know what kind of bagels they make here in Ohio, but I hear they're pretty good.
I've never been to a racetrack that actually sold bagels. Pace truck lights are off, and Ryan Hill's going to get on a loud pedal for the start of the final stage of the night. This is for all the marbles in this stage. We're back racing. Gary Sexton had a great start to the race right there. He's now up to second place. Actually, he's still trying to battle. Washington's really struggling.
Yeah,
contact!
He pitches more, and he gets slammed down to the bottom. Washington around. Hey, he brought that on himself. His truck was just out of control. He got into Ethan Moore. He's going to bounce right off him. You're going to see here on the replay. They get side by side. Washington driving the brown truck there in the 98.
He might have had a little help from number 18 of Dylan Jones, though, too, in the right rear quarter panel. And this car just drifted up and made contact with the, William Moore.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think he might have had just a touch of help from Mr. Jones. Let's go on board with Dylan Jones here. Let's see what he saw.
That'd be fun. I think it was a very slight contact. And I tell you what, Sean, you talked about at the top of the show, it doesn't take much for these trucks.
No, it doesn't. But I think you're right. I think he inappropriately touches the driver in front of him here. And it's going to give a little bit of boost, a little momentum there through the turn. And wow, around he goes.
I think really the way he spun out was the contact from Ethan Moore, because that right front contact, and all of a sudden the car just jolted to the left.
Well, it didn't take long. That's all right.
It didn't. So we still got plenty of racing to go in this final stage here. About 43 laps to go.
Yes, sir. 43 to go, and the lights are out on the pace truck. We are ready to cut them loose here again at the Big E.
Now I get why so many people love this place, not just in real life, but the sim racing community, man. It's awesome to see, sim racing community really talk about dirt racing, and it came to iRacing. And now the pace truck's going to head down pit road. Ryan Hill, the race leader, Gary Sexton in second. That's the front row. We're going to be going back racing. Tell you what, Ryan Hill's been starting on that top line all night, and he hasn't moved. Down in turn number 1, man, oh man.
Trey Galgan got a big jump on the start there. Ethan Moore sliding up into him. Pitches him up in the wall. Galgan had nowhere to go.
Man, getting down and dirty for sure. Some driver got pinched into the wall on entrance of turn number 3. Sexton in second place now. Dylan Jones in third. William Moore in fourth. Trey Galgan, 5th place. See what these drivers are going to do. Now, Washington looks like he's lost a little momentum after that spin, because he's not anywhere where he used to be. Man, you could probably, look at Jones and Moore and Galgan going at it.
Yeah, Galgan almost run over Ethan Moore there. Ethan Moore having to check up because of the 18 of Dylan Jones right in front of him. Why do I keep saying William Moore? I sure hope his middle name is Ethan. It's William Moore, not Ethan. We've been calling him Ethan all night.
I was thinking the same thing.
Jeez.
Oh, man. Oh, Moore's in trouble, though, man. He just whacked him off turn number 2, and now Galgan's going to try to take advantage of this.
He's been slapping that
wall
wall
contact! Sexton and Jones! Sexton's around!
A little bit of a tussle. Honestly, that's just a racing deal right there. As I see it on the replay, I think you'll agree with me here when we watch this on the replay. Sexton's truck started to come around. Well, maybe not so. Well, that's a tough one to call.
Yeah,
Dylan was driving straight through the turn. Gary was drifting it through the turn. Boy, this is tough.
You know, when I gotta go back what I said, that usually when you enter the corner, you're kind of committed to that line, and as soon as that back end just kicked around on Sexton, Jones just caught him and just got into him.
Yeah.
No time to react.
Yeah. I purposely am not listening to the driver chat because I don't want to be influenced one way or the other by a driver's reaction. But, well, I don't know. Gary's probably keeping it a pretty cool head about it. Gary Sexton in that dirty air. Toyota, the number 13. The driver that is brave enough to carry the number 13 on his truck.
As much as I want to say you'd be lucky if you get out here without a dent on the truck, but for Ryan Hill, man, he's like the cleanest truck out there with a little dirt on it.
Yeah, and he's got to be a little frustrated right now. They keep breaking his stride here with these caution flags. He wants to run. He wants to run and be done here in a little less than 35. Yes, he wants to be free.
I think the base truck lights are turned off and we're getting ready to go. Ryan Hill's going to be your race leader. Ethan Moore back up there in second spot. That's kind of where he was earlier until he fell back. Dylan Jones is in third. Trey Galligan in fourth. And rounding out the top five, Mr. David Washington. So hopefully Washington can bounce back because so far he just hasn't came back after that spin. So we'll have to keep an eye on Washington as the race progresses. Pace truck's going to be headed down towards pit road. And Ryan Hill's going to get on a loud pedal once again on that outside row. And we're back green flag racing at Eldora.
Boy, Ryan didn't waste any time there.
Didn't. Tell you what, it looked like a sleeping start for William Moore because he had trucks all over that back bumper, and Galligan just slapped the wall off of turn number 2.
William Moore getting a decent break here. Galligan struggling to get that truck going here again. They are fighting behind him. No Sexton trying to come back through the field. Already making a run at David Washington. He cleared Judd Danielson. Not quite Danielson coming back up top as Sexton struggles.
Haven't given a shout out to Judd Danielson all night long. Good shout out to him. He's currently running in the 6th place spot right now. Sexton looks like he's struggling just a little bit.
Oh, Danielson. Why'd we do it to him? Judd.
I'm just glad I didn't say kaboom.
I've been there. I was there in practice. That's tough.
He actually made us. Yeah, he made a successful pass on Sexton and just spun it, lost it on his own. Oh, that's got to be a tough feeling.
Yeah, and he's really beat up the front end of that Toyota. In fact, he tries to make a turn again in the pits. He misses it. Oh, boy, that's probably going to cost him a little bit of time.
A bad night just turned into a worse night for Judd Danielson. That's very unfortunate right there, but what a lucky break for Mr. Gary Sexton because he was really struggling there because he was actually being passed by Danielson, and this caution was a lucky break for him because he was about to lose the field. Okie dokie. Man, that was a little wild there. Ryan Hill. Oh. Well, Sean, I tell you what, brother, this has been a little chaotic. Does anybody have anything for Ryan Hill?
You know what? At times, David Washington has looked really fast. Okay, I think Washington might have a crack at him. Maybe Galligan does too. Galligan has moved up and down through this field at literal ease sometimes. So I wouldn't be shocked here to see Galligan make a run at it. Now Danielson back out on track. Now I'm not seeing a lot of repair on that truck. I'm wondering if that one fast repair that Gary Sexton told me about, I'm wondering if that was a bluff. Maybe. Here we go.
Back green flag racing right now. Big jump by Ryan Hill once again, but that battle looks like it's second on back. Here comes Washington, like you said, Sean. Just a little bit of an update here, folks. I do believe we have a penalty, number 49 truck.
Yeah, it was William Moore. Going to go to that start at the end of the line there. Yep.
And
he's already moving up, though.
And the 49 truck got EOL for wall riding.
Yeah, it was William Moore that suffered the penalty, and he was right. It was him that was accused of rim riding there, so they put him back.
Oh. Washington in trouble here because he's about to be overtaken by Jones.
Boy, but Jones having trouble up there against the wall. Galgan all over him there. Washington still trying to hang out there in the middle of the track. He slides up in front of Gary Sexton. Sexton already had enough trouble this evening. He wants to try and clear him. He clears Washington. All of a sudden, Washington's starting to struggle here with about 24 laps to go.
It is time to go here, and there's no. It is really time to go, and I do believe Jones knows that. Washington, he knows it too, but he's struggling. He's lost positions. He just cannot get back. And look at Sexton trying to battle for third on the 49 Galgan. Oh man!
All the while, Dylan Jones up there trying to hang on to second. He keeps finding that truck there up dangerously up against the wall.
Oh man, look at Sexton. Sexton trying to get right in front of Galgan, does not work, and he realized it. I don't know how he did not wash up right in front of them. They're beating him, banging though.
Contact between Sexton and Galgan.
Man,
I told you these trucks were tough, man.
They're not going to have a door by the end of this thing. Sexton, it was a. Oh no, he's losing it now. All this battling has brought Washington back into the mix.
Yeah, he's back to the party. Galgan having to get out of it a little bit there. Almost turns Sexton around. He avoids the contact. Washington still closing. Trying to close 3 wide. Sexton has trouble up near the wall.
Sexton looks like he's now struggling.
There's just nothing left. With 20 to go, there is no grip left on this track.
And they're really showing it too. Sexton now lost 2 positions from Washington and Galgan. Galgan in second place. He's got a little bit of a leeway over Washington. Washington might have to worry about that 13 truck because that 13 truck doesn't want to try to give up, even though he's still trying to find a little traction control out there on the racetrack.
Boy, and how about Dylan Jones up here in second? Come from out of nowhere, really. Boy, wasn't in my thoughts there as someone who had to run at the front, but he's the only one that's been able to keep it close to Hill, who's 4 seconds up on him.
He has seen it, everything tonight. The wall, another truck. And the truck has shown it, but he's currently running strong in second place, only 4 seconds back from Ryan Hill. He's actually put about a second and a half on third place, Trey Galgan.
Oh, Ethan Moore getting by Gary Sexton, trying to anyway. Sexton looking for grip down low, not finding it easy, can't get back to the throttle quick enough. Ethan Moore going to get by, go up to 5th. Now Moore up, I keep saying William Moore. Darn it, we're going to have to ask him what his middle name is. Again, I sure hope it's Ethan or Edward or something. Anyway, William Moore is still making a run here at David Washington. I thought Washington might have a chance at this, but he's having trouble trying to catch Trey Galgan.
He is, but he's having trouble. But right now he's going to have to start playing a little defense because here comes Ethan Moore all over that back bumper. And if that battle begins, it's going to be a battle for 4th. Oh,
we're going to have to give William Moore a refund before this night's over with as much money as we've had to put in the jar here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Williams having a great night overall here, Sean. He's been in the top 5 most of the night despite the beating and banging, and he's just got to try to go.
Oh, Galgan's around.
Caution. I was thinking lap traffic could be
that was McFarland. I'm sorry, I said Galgan was around. It was McFarland around.
Yeah.
McFarland fighting from a lap down. We'll go here and see what happens as Washington gets the run at him. McFarland gets up on the wall, and that truck just comes all the way around, and really Washington with just no place to go there.
Yeah, McFarland's just trying to run his own race, trying to make it to the end, and really nowhere to go. When you get on the entrance corner like that, and you can't just switch lanes, it just doesn't happen. So that's very unfortunate for McFarland as well.
Man, you think Ryan Hill was upset before about cautions? Well, he certainly didn't want to see that happen here, and we'll probably get restarted with probably about 9 laps to go.
Finishes in the top 3 tonight. I'd have to ask him that to see if the cautions really worried him tonight, because so far he's making it look like it's not whatsoever. But we'll have to see if Dylan Jones, because he actually pulled away from Galgan and was all by himself out there. It was actually the first time we've seen second place driver really separate himself from everybody. Judd Danielson looks like he's going to get the wave around here.
Yes, he is.
These car lights, they turned off? I don't think so.
No.
Oh, maybe no. I don't think. Oh, yeah, they did.
I think Dylan Jones. I think he's got a shot here, man.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm curious to see who's going to catch Ryan Hill, and Dylan Jones looks like the best truck to do that. I just wonder if anybody's going to try to take advantage of Dylan Jones on this restart, because usually the second place driver's in trouble tonight on these restarts. It's no joke. But here comes Ryan Hill. Green flag's going to be coming back out here. 9 laps to go. Ethan Moore coming back for second place.
Yeah, that's because there's nothing left down in that low line. Poor Dylan Jones found out how there was nothing. Gary Sexton's going to try and make it work. I think he's about to find out there's just nothing there to hold on to, and he's going to lose it on the exit. Dylan Jones just cruises on by him. David Washington now starting to close on Sexton. So is Trey Galgan.
It still worked for Sexton, because now Sexton's riding in fourth place. But, I mean, he was one of the daredevils to try to run on the bottom side of the racetrack most of the time than any other driver in the closing stage of the race here.
Boy, could it be Ethan Moore? Can he keep that truck off the wall long enough? William Moore with a chance here.
He does, but, I mean, right last time by at the start-finish line, only 4/10 of a second. Actually, Mike Rowe just a little bit this time by for sure. Most certainly does. A tenth bigger, 5/10 of a second back.
Man, William Moore deserves an interview tonight.
Battle for Sexton's actually under attack back there. At least he was from Galgan for a brief moment.
Boy, Moore is really struggling to hang on to second. Dylan Jones is really starting to make it right at him here with 5 to go.
5 laps remaining here at Eldora. The top 3 drivers kind of separated from themselves. The biggest battle on point is between Sexton and Trey Galgan in the closing stages here. Galgan trying to utilize that bottom, but like you said, Sean, it is just not going anywhere. They're going to have to shake Sexton out of there.
Yep, they're going to have to literally just move him out of the way if they want it. Sexton digging hard.
Hard, but it looks like Sexton's pulled away from Galgan just a little bit. Now, actually, Washington's gaining on Galgan back here. That's actually the biggest battle on track.
Listen, I'm telling you, Ethan Moore, just a little bit of luck here. William Moore with just a little bit of luck here. Man, I keep doing it. William Moore with just a little bit of luck here is going to get a run at Ryan Hill. He's only got 2 laps to do it, and he keeps putting it against the wall.
Every time he hits the wall, it kind of slows him down just a little bit as we're coming to the white flag here in the 100-lap feature, getting down and dirty right now. It is time to get down and dirty for Ethan Moore. What can he do? I think it's too little too late. Ryan Hill entering turns 1 and 2 for the final time here tonight on the back straightaway. He's had a clean race.
And Dylan Jones went around by himself, solo spin. This race is going to end.
Coming to the checkered flag, it's going to be Ryan Hill winning at Eldora and getting $25 to his name, with second place William Moore, and third place driver is was it Dylan Jones? No, it wasn't.
No, Dylan Jones spun and loses that podium spot for a little bit of money. Oh, it's the horrible turn of events there for Dylan Jones after riding so well.
Galgan got the third spot.
Flames, fireworks going off again.
All right, well, that concludes the race, but don't go away. We will interview the top 3 drivers of here tonight, so don't go away. We'll be right back here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Welcome back to Eldora Speedway as we just concluded a 100-lap 2018 Down and Dirty Spectacular from the SSCA League, and I tell you what, that was extremely, not just the 100-lap feature, but the heat races as well was absolutely exciting. So let's go to the finishing results here tonight. And it was all Ryan Hill out front who wins the 100-lap feature. He wins $25 here tonight. He finishes in the lead. Second place, William Moore. He'll get $15 for finishing second. What a fight for him. Trey Galgan as well. What a fight for him as well. He finishes third. He'll get $10. Fourth place, Mark McFadden. I haven't talked about him all night, so a shout out to him for finishing in the top 5 tonight. And Gary Sexton rounding out the top 5, finishing 5th. David Washington up and down the leaderboard, but he has to settle for 6th place tonight. Dylan Jones will finish in 7th. Coulda, woulda, shoulda got 3rd, but spun it out. In 8th place, Judd Danielson. 9th place, Robert McFarland. And rounding out the top 10, Sean Callis. There, Sean.
Okay, Sean Callis is going to be William Locklear, finishing 11th this evening. He only got about 33 laps in after that big incident that involved him and Gabriel Wood and Eric Stanford. They all finished 12th, 13th. William Davis out a little bit earlier than that. He'll finish 14th. And Josh Bonwell, unfortunately, his race just didn't get off to a good start. Only got 7 laps in this evening, and he will finish down in 15th.
We got a couple of driver interviews tonight, and one of the most important ones is our race winner of tonight's festivities, Mr. Ryan Hill. We can try to bring Ryan Hill up, and there's Ryan. Ryan, you had a whale of a race out there. You're riding in the sunset, but how worried were you on those restarts? Do you feel like you were going to be gunned down?
A little bit. Some drivers I was more worried about than others. The last restart, actually the restarts in general I was worried about because I would get into a rhythm, and then I would get really upset when the caution came out because it would take me about 3 or 4 laps to get back in the rhythm just because we were running so high on the track. So I was mainly worried about losing positions on the restart because I got out of my comfort zone, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you what, you drove away and you really didn't look back in that rear mirror realistically. You're just running your line and you come home with $25 into your pocket there, Ryan. So congratulations on that. But as the race leader with not really battling with a lot of people out there, how much did the track change for you? Because realistically, it looked like you didn't really change up your line at all tonight.
From your view, that's probably very true. From the truck view, we were getting higher and higher and higher. It got to one point in the truck where the top was gone, and you had to kind of ride on top of the cushion to be fast, and that's where I broke out to that 4.5-second lead or whatever, is because I would actually have, like, the middle of my truck on top of the cushion, so the right side tires would be over it. And you're talking 2 inches from the wall in a truck that drives like a brick with 1,000 horsepower. It sounds a lot more fun than what it is.
You make dirt look easy here tonight there, Ryan. And I tell you what, do you have any past experience here on the iRacing sim as far as the dirt racing?
Not as much on iRacing. I actually do have raced part-time a dirt late model. So, I mean, I do have real-life experience in dirt, but definitely nothing like a truck. I mean, I guess that's kind of like I raced super streets before. I race late models now. I guess the trucks are kind of like a super street, but more aerodynamic and a lot more power. And I guess it kind of drives like that, if I had to guess.
Looks like to me you transitioned for that real-world experience to the sim, and it certainly has paid off for you, Ryan. Ryan, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk with us this evening, and congratulations on the win here at Eldora. It was hard fought, especially with the handling of the race of the truck, as you said, and hopefully we speak to you again soon.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks to you guys for putting on the show, and thanks to Gary for throwing this wild card in there on us so we don't have to worry about points or anything this week. We just go out here and have fun.
That's Ryan Hill, folks, who finishes in the lead here, in the win here tonight, getting $25. And I do believe, Sean, who have you caught up with?
Well, I would have loved to talk to William Moore, to one give him a heartfelt apology, but he didn't make it. So we're going to talk to our podium finisher, 3rd place, Trey Galgan. Buddy, you just got it right there at the end because Dylan couldn't hang on to the truck in the middle of the turn. Talk to us about your race. You were up and down the field all night.
Man, I don't even know where to start. I hit the wall about 100 times. Went to the back. Went back to the front. Went to the back again. Went back to the front. It was up and down. But on the good side of things, it was fun racing. It was good to have one of these one-off races. And, man, it was really fun out there.
Yeah, and you even maybe crossed the ways with the stewards there during the race with a warning there for what they called rim riding. How do you accomplish that? Well, explain that to us real quick.
So basically what they were saying and the warning was about is if you hit the wall completely with the right side, from what I'm understanding, completely with the right side, then you just smash the gas off the turn. That's what the rim riding they're calling it. To me, that warning It was on the iffy side for me, at least, because when I hit the wall, I didn't even get back into the gas until probably like a little bit after I hit the wall. So, hey, it is what it is. We didn't get a penalty out of it, so I'll take that.
You'll certainly take the $10 there for third place. And like I said, you kind of snatch it there from Dylan Jones. Maybe he snatched it from himself. But Trey, it was a fun race, man. The beating and banging that was going on there between you and Gary Sexton for a while. Nothing like sticking it to the boss, huh?
Yeah, I was really apologetic right after that happened because I felt bad, but that was the only opportunity I had to get third place, was to drive it in there deep and just hope it stick and hope that when I hit him, he was going to be able to straighten it out, and I would have been able to straighten it out, and we would have had a good finish there coming to the end. But it was unfortunate. I wrecked him, and I feel bad about that, but we talked afterwards, and we're cool about it. So, hey, it is what it is.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, listen, thanks for coming in and talk to us for a moment. Trey, we'll catch you next week, my friend, and good luck to you then.
Thank you.
All right, that was Trey Galgan. Tanner, I'm going to let you talk to the boss, Gary Sexton, talk about his night and about putting this special event together.
I've caught up with Gary Sexton, and Gary, hey man, you started in the top 5, but you're kind of up and down the leaderboard. At first, one time you were in second place, and then another time you were in 7th. Looked like you were struggling at certain points of the race until you got your rhythm back. Tell me about your night, man. It seemed like a struggle out there.
Whew, it's rough. Yeah, I was in a good spot for most of the night. It's just that, when you restart on the bottom, you're pretty much bound to lose 2 positions unless you make a really aggressive move, and sometimes they stick and sometimes they don't. I had a hard time as a run would go on. I had a hard time keeping it up against the wall without getting it too sideways, and would just lose a ton of momentum trying to save the truck, and I get in a rhythm and get a good restart on the outside, and then this kind of the same thing would happen. Once you get, it's almost like a chess match out there. You're kind of trying to, if you're not in an even number position or the leader, it's almost beneficial to let somebody by you so that you are, in case there's a caution. And there was a point in the race where I did that and it worked out, and then there was another point where I did it and it kind of bit me because I ended up getting passed by 2 guys at once, and then I just couldn't recover from there. And then just kept it together over those last couple of laps, and I saw Dylan spin in front of me, and I thought, okay, here we go, we got a nice 3rd place finish. And then no fault of Trey, but he dove it in there, trying to get some of that money, and I think I came home like 5th or something, but that's all right. Trey doesn't need that $10. That's a joke.
Yeah, and for you, Gary, you were at certain points of the race, you were actually, in my opinion, you could probably agree or disagree, but you were one of the daredevils. It looked like you were on the bottom, trying to make something happen on that bottom, like trying to go for a position on that bottom, because a lot of guys looked like they were up by that wall and it kept going higher and higher and just scraping the wall. Were you just trying to find something to utilize that bottom, or try to overtake a pass, or what did you see on that bottom that others didn't?
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something. When 20 laps into this, track was pretty much gone on the top. There was a lot of grip on the bottom, but the problem with these trucks is they just bog down, and then you can downshift to 3rd, but then you're hitting the chip, and there's not a good gearing in this fixed setup where you can run the bottom and trug through the real thick mud that's down there, or dirt. But yeah, I was just trying to do something, make something happen, go where everyone else wasn't. And there's a few times I felt like it was working, and a few times it wasn't. And, it's just part of dirt racing. It's so much fun. I don't have any real life experience with any type of racing. But I just focused on, when dirt came out, learn how to drive these trucks, because I know these races would come up every once in a while, and you put me in any other dirt car, it's scary. But yeah, I can, it's just what you got to do. You got to try and find the line, and hopefully it works, and pull those big sliders. I know me and Gabe were having a slide job battle there for a few laps, which was really fun, and hated that he wrecked out, because he's fun to race around and forced to be reckoned with. It's just a blast. I wish you guys could come down there and commentate and race with us at the same time.
I don't know how that would work out there, Sean, but I don't know if I'll be able to make it around the track. Sean, you probably make a couple more laps than what I could, but yeah, Gary, I totally hear you on that one. Tell you what, you look like you had a past experience here on dirt racing. Like you said, you didn't have real world experience, but it looks like you got some good old sim racing experience on dirt for sure. Any future upcoming dirt official races you plan on running in after tonight?
Yeah, when we hit the when the trucks, the C-fixes hit the dirt, I usually try to run, pick up some iRating, or lose it atrociously. But I think that'll be it for the SSCA for the rest of the year for dirt. We might do some off-season stuff, once we get going and into the off-season. We have a kind of a long off-season this year, so we're going to try to do some fun stuff for everybody to keep the rush shook off, and hopefully this will be good practice for our cup race next week. If we get a little loose, we can just hold on to it and just give it some gas.
Gary,
I was going to say, before we let you go, Sean, you have a question for Gary.
Yeah, just a quick question, Gary. We talked about working down low, and this is something I talked about in the pre-race. How much mud or tack was there really down low? Was there anything left, or had that dried out pretty well by the time the races started?
I mean, it was dry, but there's way more grip down there because nobody's down there, especially when there's only 10 cars left on the track. There's a ton of grip down there, even though it's a little dry. It's so you get so bogged down in it that there's not the right gearing to kind of power through it and get the run off that you need. Like, you're always going to have a worse run off the bottom, but it's just in these trucks, it's just not there. You have to keep the momentum wound up on the top. Makes it real hard to pass, but it makes it fun to pass too, because you kind of dive it in there and hope for the best.
Hey, Gary, thanks a lot, man, for getting us on board with this race tonight. I'd say the 2018 Down and Dirty Spectacular, brought to you by Dirty Ear Studios, was a great success.
Yeah, I appreciate everything. I just want to say thanks to my team, CCR. Thanks to all the drivers that come out and race in this league. I know from my standpoint, it's it's not always fun for a lot of guys. It's not always fun for me, but I do appreciate everybody that comes out here and races with us and makes it fun. And special thanks to you guys. I know this was a real last minute deal to get you guys to come on and do this race, but I knew I had to have you on here once we decided to split the points race and the non-points race. And so I really appreciate working with you guys. It's been a blast.
All right, Gary, we'll see you next week, my friend. And Tanner, boy, I'll tell you what, a lot of fun working with you tonight, buddy, but I think it's time to put a pretty bow on this and wrap things up.
Time to wrap things up indeed, Sean. We've seen a great race, and but before we wrap everything up, we got a couple of thanks to give out here. First off, the race sponsor, Dirty Air Studios, they are here to bring you the best in online sim racing creative, from everything of videos, logos, car liveries, and more. And to find out more information about them, go on Facebook at Dirty Air Studios. Thanks to the organizers of the SSCA, and one of those organizers, Mr. Gary Sexton, so thank you very much. Thanks to the companies that provided the software and hardware for our broadcast listed on your screen. Additional thanks to Eric Heckholm and June Lalonde, who provide our wonderful music. See the screen for how to get a hold of them for more of their great work. Thanks to the team today, Sean, Joe, and Dougie. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including upcoming races, and you can find out more at www.globalsimracingchannel.com. Or you can check us out on social media on Twitter at GSR channel, Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Gram. The next race for the SSCA on a Thursday night is going to be next week, Thursday, July 5th at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss that race. That's going to be a whale of a cup race next week, Thursday night. We have upcoming races on the other series listed on the screen, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and we will see you on the track.